minutes to go. Oh, wait, we're hearing it now. The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner and see what happens.
With the fifth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.
Because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
Oh, my God. What is up, Miami Dolphin fans? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Scoreboard. I am your host, Mr. Straight Talk, man, here back again for week 2 of the NFL season and another week of the Miami Dolphins crying towel. Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. What can we do? Like, literally. So all we could do right now is we could cry, we could laugh to keep from crying. But the truth of the matter is our football team isn't really that good. Now, the way I started out, I thought the show was going to be a lot worse than how I had planned, just based on the way they played in that first quarter. But they did get better. So I give them credit for that. The Dolphins did wake up, but nevertheless, they still lost to the lowly New England Patriots. So they lost to a team that really isn't better than them. What's up, Cap for Life? This is the turning point. The rest of the future, the movement has begun. Okay. All right. I guess you say so. So the Dolphins, I don't know. I'm not at a loss of words, and I'm going to get into the scores from around the league, and I'm going to get into, everything. I do got an announcement to make. Shout out of those of you watching over on Twitter right now, those of you watching on YouTube. I will be streaming live to TikTok starting next week. I posted a video last Sunday on TikTok that is right now sitting at 81,000 views. It was just basically a rant on Tua. So I see now that TikTok is the place to be. So I'm going to start streaming live over on TikTok starting next week. But here we are again. The Miami Dolphins had a chance to win. The Dolphins, this was a game that the Dolphins should have won. This was a must-win game for the Dolphins. And now I really don't know where we go from here, because this Thursday, not only is it a Thursday night game, but it is against the Dolphins' father, Josh Allen, who's going to put belt to ass come Thursday night. And we know what happens on these Thursday night primetime games. That's when Tua normally gets injured. And I'm not hoping that he gets injured or anything like that, but I'm not a fan of the Thursday night games as it is, because there's too many injuries because of the quick turnaround. But we know on those Thursday night games, that's when it normally happens. So first of all, let's just hope that he doesn't. But I wholeheartedly believe that the Buffalo Bills are going to put boot to ass come Thursday. That the Dolphins aren't in the same stratosphere as the Buffalo Bills. So there was a lot good to take away from this game, but there was a lot bad. And let's start out with the Dolphins defense. So last week I put the game totally on Tua and Mike McDaniel's terrible coaching, and they're going to get some blame this week. But this week the defense has to take the L. The defense, they set a stat line that the Dolphins defense had been scored on every single possession this year. So I mean, every time the opponents had the ball, they scored. The Giants scored on 7 or 8 possessions last week, and New England scored on their first 2. And it literally was like the Dolphins get 0 pass rush. We're supposed to have this great front 7, no pass rush, no pressure. What I noticed a lot from Sealer, from Chop Robinson, from Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, they get a lot of over pursuit. So they'll be coming off the edge. Matthew Judon, they'll be coming off of the edge and over pursuing the quarterback. So they'll have a straight shot to him, but they'll overrun him. So Drake May had plenty of time to step up in the pocket and extend plays and get first downs and convert on third down, convert on fourth down. Listen, 2 weeks in a row, the Dolphins made subpar quarterbacks look like seasoned vets. Daniel Jones last week looked like an all-pro. Drake May today, at least for the first half, looked like a 5 or 6 year vet. He actually looked like what Tua should be looking like now. And this defense is trash. I mean, Anthony Weaver is a good defensive coordinator, and it could just be very well that he doesn't have the pieces or his schemes are bad. I don't know what it is. It's week 2, but this defense, the Miami Dolphins, I got to spend some time on the defense before I go into the game notes. This defense for the Miami Dolphins is trash. And before we haven't even gotten to the secondary yet. There were plays where Miami stacked 8 in the box and still was not able to get any pressure. Stevenson was ripping off 10-yard runs a clip. Drake May keeping plays alive with his feet, stepping out of blitzes. Making Miami pay. The middle of the field always open every time, always open for big 10+ yard plays all the time. This defense is absolute trash. One thing about the Dolphins, they have always been able to rely on the defense. But I mean, even in those Dave Wanstead years, Jimmy Johnson years, that defense was awesome. The defense was awesome. The defense is what was keeping us in the games because the offense was such trash. But this defense is so bad that I don't see the Dolphins going on any run if they can't score 30 points or more. They scored 27 today and lost. So I really don't think we'll be able to get any wins without scoring 30 points or more because of the defense. The defense is trash. The defense is absolute trash. Zach Sealer just got a big contract, and he deserved it. Listen, I'm not going to be the one to say, hey, don't get your money. You don't deserve your money. Zach Sealer, new contract, can't get around the quarterback. Or he'll be around the quarterback, he over pursues. Every time. He had Drake May for 2 sacks, and Drake May was able to just step up out of it. Every single time. Bradley Chubb got another sack today. Chop Robinson got a sack. Jalen Phillips has been a big disappointment to me this season so far. He'll have the pursuit. They'll just get away from him. Like, this defense is trash. And let's not talk about the secondary. Oh my goodness. The Miami Dolphins secondary might be the worst I've ever seen. You know what this is like, and I'm because some of you fans some of you guys watching haven't been watching long enough. There was a time where the Dolphins were fielding guys like Cameron Worrell in the secondary. If you guys remember that name, there's 76 of you watching. Somebody watching. Shout out to brother in Christ. Some of you watching will remember the name of Cameron Worrell, and the reason I that comes up to me is because I think it was in 2007. Yeah, it was the 2007 Dolphins. Tom Brady threw the ball to Randy Moss in triple coverage. And I just, for some reason, I always remember Cameron Worrell was one of the DBs back there, and Randy Moss just jumped up over all three of them. And that's what this Dolphins secondary is like. This secondary is trash, man. Okay. All right. Shout out to Eddie Israel. What's up, Ricardo? Yeah, this secondary is trash. This defense is trash. They can't stop the run. They can't get pressure on the quarterback. They can't keep the plays in front of them. They give up big plays. Stevenson caught a 58-yard pass on the sideline, and he's a running back. No reason a running back should be getting behind the defense like that. This defense is horrendous. And I say this defense, if this defense would have been able to make a few stops, the Dolphins could have won the game. Now, we're going to get to Mike McDaniel's terrible coaching as usual, and Tua always making the bad play when needed. You could always count on Tua for making that bad play. So let's get into my game notes. Let me see. I don't believe in the Bears at all. Same old weak stuff every year. Hey, Eddie, I'm gonna say something. You know what? I'm going to just say it now. One thing about today's game that I saw, when I see Drake May and I look at the highlights, you guys, the Bears have, oh my God, what's the Bears quarterback name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. It'll Eddie, let me know what the Bears. I'm drawing a blank here. The Titans have Cam Ward. The Texans have CJ Stroud. Shout out MD in the building. The Falcons, MD's team has Penix. You know, and I'm naming off all these quarterbacks. Caleb Williams. Yeah, finger painting Caleb Williams. I'm naming off all these quarterbacks. And one thing these quarterbacks have that the Miami Dolphins quarterback doesn't have is they have a ceiling to where they can get better. When I watch Tua play, this is what Tua is. Tua is what Tua is. And nothing spelled that more than when 2 possessions on the last possession, when we're going in for a touchdown to win the game, this is your chance to solidify and say, hey, I'm the quarterback of the Dolphins. I'm going to lead this team. Y'all follow me for the rest of the year. He scrambles and runs out of bounds. Another play earlier in the game, he scrambles and runs out of bounds because he doesn't have the legs to keep the play alive. When I watch every other team's quarterback, their quarterback has the legs to keep the play alive. And the Dolphins don't have that. Tua is what Tua is going to be. He's going to be a first read, second read quarterback. Shout out to Thinking Black in the building. First read, second read quarterback. That's all he is. He cannot scramble to save his life. You have the game on the line, and you're scrambling towards the sideline. And I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, it's because he wanted to save time on the clock. Bull crap. You got to make plays. Drake May kept at least 5 plays alive because he was able to scramble. Drake May, I would say, I'm going to look up the stat line, but Drake May probably had about 30 or 40 rushing yards just because he was able to keep plays alive with his feet. 2023 Tua would have done that. Yeah, 2023 Tua would have lowered his head into the, you know what? I want 2023 Tua back. Damn that. You know, you already got your money, so if it, you know, hey, it is what it is at this point. You already got your money. Let's play with some moxie. Let's play with some balls. Because every other quarterback that I watch in the league, I could be like, oh man, they can get better. When I watch them, I'm like, they have a higher ceiling. I think this is it for Tua. Tua can't get any higher than where he is because he doesn't do that extra thing. There's not that what's next. there's not that what's the next step that he's going to take in the evolution of Tua Tagovailoa. It's just like we're stuck with Ryan Tannehill 2.0 again. And it is what it is. So let me get to these game notes, man. There's 80 of you watching between YouTube and Twitter. I appreciate that. And like I said, I'm going to start streaming to TikTok next week. My Tua video, let's see what I get with this one. My Tua video has 81,000 views on TikTok. So I definitely have to start streaming over on TikTok, man. They need me over there. They're crying for me. They need the voice of the voices, the reasonable voice. So I'm not this fan I'm not gonna overreact and I'm not gonna underreact. The Dolphins aren't a good football team. And even had the Dolphins beaten the Patriots today, I still would have said the Dolphins aren't a good football team. Because they aren't. That defense is terrible. You can't win with a defense that bad. So you can't win with a defense that bad, and you can't win with an offense that takes the first quarter off. You can't do that. You can't do that. The team doesn't put together 4 quarters of football. And again, that goes back to leadership. That goes back to your head coach. But I think I'm not gonna lie, and I'll get to it. Earlier today, they flew the banner across the fans got together and paid for fire McDaniel banner to fly over the stadium. And I agree, man. Chris Greer has been with this organization for 20 years and hasn't produced a winner. I don't know any job that you could be at for 20 years and be so bad at it. I've been at my job for 21 years and I'm fantastic at it. And they keep rewarding me with more and more money. Chris Greer has been at his job for 20 years and he is terrible at it. And he just somehow keeps making the cut. And he still has a job. But I think today is probably going to solidify, I think that's it for him and McDaniel. Today just, again, they had a shot at McDaniel when Tua threw another interception and he just looked like, man, he just had that look on his face like, man, I hitched my wagon to this guy. Oh my goodness, bro. It's unbelievable, man. So, and I do want to say this as I see MD in the building. Shot, man, that's what college football is the best. If you didn't watch Georgia and Tennessee last night, you missed a treat. Notre Dame and Texas A&M was tremendous, but it came down to missed field goals. Just like I thought in this game, it was going to come down to miss field goals. The Patriots kicker Borregales missed 2 extra points. And I'm sitting there like, man, what is up with these kickers now? What's up with these kickers missing these field goals? You had the Tennessee kicker where they set him up for failure, getting that penalty, pushing them back 5 yards. He misses the field goal that could have won the game. Georgia goes down and they win the game. But a lot of field goal kickers just terrible, just terrible. I don't know what's going on with these field goal kickers now, but let's get into my game notes. I'm gonna drop the link. You guys can come up. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Let's get into my game notes and then let's see. I'll continue to say Mike McDaniel with our talent in Atlanta. I'll take that in a heartbeat. As offensive coordinator, not a head coach. Mike McDaniel is not a head coach with his yellow shoes. Oh my God. When I saw those, you know what it is? And y'all know that's how I am. As long as you're doing good, I don't notice everything. But when you start being bad at your job, that's when I start noticing everything. And I noticed him with those yellow shoes on the sideline today. And I'm just like, bro, just cut your hair because you were a better coach when your hair was short. Cut your hair. Stop wearing the yellow shoes. Just coach football. He's just annoying me. He's just annoying. And I don't even want to listen to his stupid press conference because you're gonna ask him questions and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, well, he's just gonna try to say something to outsmart himself. He's just annoying. Enough already. He'll be a great offensive coordinator. It's funny because I wanted the Dolphins to hire Mike Vrabel as head coach last year and somehow keep Mike McDaniel as OC. I knew it wouldn't have worked, but some type of way. 94 of you watching, man. I appreciate that. Y'all please make sure and hit the like button, whatever you got to do over on Twitter. Hey, you guys over on Twitter, you can comment. I can't see if you comment. So drop me a line. Let me know what you thought about today's games. Let me get into my game notes, man. Shout out. I guess it's like my weekend observation. Shout out to Stu Gotts. Let's get into my game notes, man. So first quarter, the Patriots strike first. New England opened up with a ground heavy drive, just running the ball down the Dolphins' gut, converting a 4th and 3 and exploiting Miami's lack of pass rush. Again, I spoke on it earlier. The Dolphins have zero pass rush, no pass rush. Rookie second-year quarterback Drake May connected with former Dolphin Mac Hollins for an easy touchdown. And as I said earlier, Borgalis missed the PAT, making it 6-0. Miami continues to struggle early on the Dolphins' first possession. H-Chain with a nice 8-yard run, but Tua follows with an interception. I like Tua's first pass, interception. Now, it was called back because of offsetting penalties, but nevertheless, we still saw him throw an interception on his first pass. He just looked lost out there. He just looked lost. Like he has no business being on the football field. Like he didn't know what the hell's going on out there. The Dolphins did end up having to punt. The home crowd booed as the frustration grew, like loud boos. And I don't know if it was just me, but the audio in the game was messed up for like the first quarter. So you really couldn't hear too much of anything. The Patriots continue to dominate. Drake May continued to slice up the Dolphins. Soft defense. If you're a wrestling fan, Big Kaz would always say, I got, if you're not down with that, I got one word for you, and I'm going to spell it out for you. SAWFT. Soft. That's what the Dolphins are. Soft. SAWFT. Soft. They're just a soft football team. Just soft. Toilet paper. The good expensive toilet paper. Charmin. Soft. So Drake May throws another touchdown at this, because I am, that was great coverage. Jack Jones couldn't have covered that any better. The receiver just came up with a great catch. So now Borgalis misses another extra point. So now the Patriots go up 12-0. Second quarter, the Dolphins finally respond. So after adjustment, so what Mike McDaniel does finally, because he's the smartest guy in the room, and he has to go down by 2 touchdowns before he realizes, like, hey, you remember 2 years ago when we took the NFL by storm with a bunch of motion and nobody could figure it out? How about we do that again? The Dolphins started playing motion. They started sending everybody in motion all over the place. Miami used more motion than shotgun. A-Chain, Tyreek, Waddle, Malik Washington, and Ollie Gordon all contributed to a balanced 8-play drive. Tua found Waddle for an 18-yard touchdown, cutting the deficit down 12-7. The Patriots did push back, though. New England answered with a punishing drive. Again, huge runs, just gashing them. Just gashing the Dolphins, gashing them, 10 yards a clip, just gashing them. Ramondre Stevenson looked like a superstar out there. And the key third down conversion by May. Again, our pass rush that's supposed to be so elite, over pursuing, all Drake May has to do, step up in the pocket. He buys more time. He gets the first down. Tua can't do that because Tua steps up in the pocket. He panics. He runs out of bounds. Or he tucks the ball and drops. Miami's defense committed. Miami's defense, again, the defense is they're undisciplined as well as the offense, just committing back-to-back penalties. So there were 3 penalties in 4 snaps. Just undisciplined football. But the defense did bend but not break. They held New England to a field goal. The Pats extended the lead 15-7. So Miami gets the ball back before half, and they put on probably the best drive of the season. So, I mean, this is a young season, but this is their best drive of the season. They go on a 2-minute drill, just masterful. Tua's in shotgun, looking sharp, looking like the Samoan sniper that I called him, spreading the ball to Tyreek, Waddle, and A-Chain. The drive ended with a 29-yard touchdown to A-Chain. But guess what? So now Miami goes for 2, so they could tie the game up going into halftime. Miami gets hit with a false start penalty. False start penalty puts them back 5 yards. They settle for the extra point field goal. New England leads 15-14 at half. Like, undisciplined. This team is just Quay, Quay, however you say it. I apologize if I'm butchering it, but bad coaching all the way around. I absolutely agree 100%. Remember in 2016 when Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur and Mike McDaniel all in the coaching. Yeah. Oh yeah. When he had all of them on the coaching staff. Yeah. Yeah. But that 49ers team though was just full of playmakers. And that 49ers team, we're going to get into another observation that I made. Where was I? So my halftime takeaways: defense, Miami's pass rush was mostly absent. Secondary was exposed, and penalties extended Patriots drives. Drake May looked comfortable rolling out and exploiting the over-aggressive edge rushers. The offense, Tua was shaky early, interceptions, poor reads, but steadily he steadied later with motion-heavy up-tempo play calling. The offense clicked best in the shotgun with speed and misdirection. So once they started the misdirections and the motions and the up-tempo, they looked like the Dolphins from 2 years ago. Unfortunately, remember when the Dolphins took the NFL by storm with the Wildcat in 2008? Once the coaches figured that out, they shut them down. The Dolphins have to learn how to run between the tackles and line up in a pro-style offense. They will not be any better than what they are if they can't run a pro-style offense, because NFL coaches will figure this out. They will figure this out. After looking like trash for the majority of the half, Miami's last 2 possessions showed life. McDaniel sticks to finesse, motion, and speed, plus mixes in Ollie Gordon. They can climb back. Ollie Gordon, not in the game. I mean, you got this big 6'2", 250-pound bruiser of a back. You don't have him in the game. You have A-Chain constantly trying to run between the tackles, which he cannot do. He's going to get hurt. A-Chain cannot run between the tackles. And then in order for him to get positive yards, you have to extend the play so much with tosses, you allow the defenders to just pursue, and is always ending up in negative plays. Shout out to Bones in the building. You got to be able to run between the tackles. Stevenson was running between the tackles, destroying Miami's defense, just running between the tackles. Drake May running between the tackles, and he's a quarterback. Everybody could run between the tackles but the Dolphins. You got to be able to run between the tackles. That's the only way you're going to be able to have successful football. Like, I mean, listen, I'm a guy sitting on the couch, but so let's get to the third quarter. So the third quarter, Miami gets the ball back. All the momentum in the world. They got all the momentum in the world. So what do the Dolphins do? They ruin that momentum. They get off to an ugly start. Miami opens with flat back-to-back O-line penalties, followed by a wasted timeout. So they got a false start penalty. Next play, they had to call a timeout because they let the play clock run down. So I'm just trying to figure out to myself, you guys went into halftime with that momentum. What the hell did Mike McDaniel say to them? Because what Mike McDaniel should have did was have them so pumped up that they came out there and destroyed the Patriots. They come out there and first possession of the third quarter, they squander it away. Like, you can't make this up. Like, you can't make it up. This Dolphins team is poorly coached, undisciplined, soft, undersized, and the one thing they do good is speed. They take a quarter and a half before they unleash that. Just a bad football team. We finally got a big play in the third quarter. Tua connected to Tyreek Hill for a 48-yard deep ball, which was grossly underthrown. That was all Tyreek Hill. That ball was so underthrown. Tyreek Hill had to come back to it. It's amazing that he was able to catch that. Really amazing that he was able to catch that. So on this same possession now, because now they got the big play, now they're now they're on the other side of the field going in for some points. A penalty was wiped out. A penalty wiped out a first down. Another penalty. Another false start. Another holding. And Miami had to settle for a field goal, taking a 17-15 lead. One time the defense finally shows up. Jordan Brooks did get the sack on Drake May to force New England's first punt of the game. So New England's first punt of the game didn't come until the third quarter. The momentum did shift briefly. Miami's offense moved with passes to Waddle for 23 yards and Hill, but penalties stalled them inside the 25. They had to settle for another field goal. So that's the story of the game. Miami gets momentum. They get in the red zone. Penalties push them back. Every time they'll get a 20+ yard play. Penalties push them back. They can strike, but you better believe they're going to get a penalty to push them back the next possession. That's Dolphins football, baby. For every positive play we get, we're going to get 2 negatives. We're going to take 1 step forward and 3 steps backwards. The Patriots did respond. As I spoke about this earlier, Stevenson, again, this was all Drake May bought himself time, evaded the pass rush, the non-existent pass rush. I think this was the one with Sealer. All he did was stepped up. So Sealer's just flopping around on the ground like a big whale. Drake May 58 yards over the top to Stevenson. And shortly after, May ran in the touchdown. So they converted a 2-point conversion. New England reclaimed the lead 23 to 20. So one thing we could say, we at least got a game here. It's not like the blowout of last week where Miami never was in it. Miami spotted New England 2 touchdowns in this game, and still it was a close game. So the Dolphins continue to struggle in the fourth. The offense sputtered, run stuff, missed throws. Tua was sailing the ball over receivers' heads. The Dolphins receivers are all under 6 foot, and you're throwing the ball like you're throwing it to a 6'2" receiver. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're going to get these guys hurt. They shouldn't have to jump for every pass you throw to them because the defender is right there to lay the boom on. And as I spoke of earlier, the one difference between every other quarterback in the NFL versus Tua cannot extend the plays with his legs. He can't extend plays. And because of that, Miami, if that first read isn't there, is going to result in a negative play. And the Dolphins had to punt. A screen on 3rd down and long burnt the blitz. So the Dolphins got 3rd down and long, and they brought the house, and Drake May just hit him with a screen pass. Just burned them. But New England is another undisciplined team, just like the Dolphins. So they weren't doing themselves any favors with their penalties. They kept trying to give Miami the game, but Miami didn't want to take it. So Chop Robinson did go down with an injury. He was holding his leg. I got to see what happened. Then we had 12 seconds of the most exciting football you'll ever see in football. Like this was insane. New England punts the ball. Malik Washington receives the punt, kind of fumbles it a little bit. He flips the game with a 74-yard punt return touchdown to give Miami the 27-23 lead. Now the place is going crazy because we're like, oh my God, the Dolphins might have a chance to win. The Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium is back on their feet. They're back to life. Fire. Everybody's happy. Next kickoff, wonk, wonk. New England answered with a 90-yard kick return. Oh, you talk about just kicking somebody in the balls. Like, that was it, man. I was like, oh, my goodness, bro. You couldn't even be mad. Miami next drive was very, very sloppy. Short screens, negative runs. Again, you're trying to run A-chain between the tackles. He can't do it. Even Tyreek Hill said he's too small. He can't do it. Delay a game penalties, false start penalties. Just nothing. Nothing. Tyreek Hill had a good game today. He was over 100 yards. Tua gets sacked, then picked off on 4th and 9. So listen, this is you haven't heard me call Mike McDaniel negative all day. This is what I'm going to call him negative. It's 4th and 9. 4th and 9. You had like 2 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. Miami had 2 timeouts. They had the 2-minute warning. And Mike McDaniel decides to go for it on 4th and 9 with 2 minutes left in the game. With over 2 minutes left in the game, 4th and 9, he had 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, and he decided to go for it. What Mike McDaniel said was, hey, Anthony Weaver, your defense is complete trash. I do not trust them. I'd rather go for it on 4th and 9 with the game on the line than to put it on your defense. And Tua promptly rewards him by throwing an interception. So there you go. Surprisingly, Miami's defense did hold on the next possession. I mean, and with very little time, very, very little time went off the clock. Miami's defense held. They forced a field goal, which now Bergal's been missing extra points all day, but he somehow hits this 56-yard field goal to put them up 33-27. So Miami, you talk about drama. Miami has the ball back, final chance, down 6, a little under 2 minutes, down 6. You can go in for the kill. You can solidify yourself as the quarterback of this team. You, Mike McDaniel, could show us some faith and make us be like, all right, we were a little hard on you. Let's see where we're going. You have the final drive that we're going to call the drive. Down 6 with under 2 minutes. Miami had the ball on their own 40 because, by the way, New England kicked the ball off and it didn't land in the landing zone. So now the ball gets put on the 40. So you literally have the ball on your 40. So you got 60 yards to go for a touchdown, for the game-winning touchdown. They give you the ball on your 40 with less than 2 minutes on the clock, and you had 2 timeouts. Tua just starts throwing the short pass game. He connects with A-Chain so he short pass, short run, just like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're wasting time. We're just letting the time run out of the clock. Typical Dolphin football, terrible clock management. Then and reminiscent of the New England Patriots game against the Dolphins where, oh my God, what was the running back's name? Oh, jeez, why am I forgetting all these players? Kenyon Drake, where Kenyon Drake had the walk-off return and the walk-off pass where they kept pitching it, and Gronkowski missed a tackle. Tua hits A-Chain, and A-Chain takes it to the house, and the place is going crazy. I even jump up. I haven't made any noise the entire day. I jump up like, oh my God, the Dolphins just walked the Patriots off. You see the referee walk in. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 9 seconds. They show on the replay, A-Chain stepped out of bounds. And man, you talk about the proverbial kick in the ball sack. That was it right there. Because I'm like, the Dolphins are going to find a way to snatch defeat from the hands of victory. And that's absolutely what they did. I don't blame A-Chain. I mean, hey, A-Chain did what he did. He stepped out of bounds, but he still took it to the end zone. And for that split second, we thought that we walked them off. There's 100 of you watching right now. Man, I really do appreciate that. Please make sure and hit the like button. And then the Dolphins just Dolphin it up. Poor clock management. Just the final drive. It was terrible. It's just terrible. They were inside the 30 with a timeout, momentum like crazy. The O-line just decided the O-line, which wasn't terrible all day. The O-line, which held up pretty good because Tua, I mean, he got hit a couple times, but he was fairly clean They decided with the last minute left in the game that they were just going to give free shots to the quarterback. The second round pick, Sanaya, however the hell you say his name, he's not really good. I mean, let's call it what it is. He's not really good, and he just let Tua just get blown up. You know, and last play of the game, Tua gets sacked again, and game over, and the Dolphins fall 0-2. And guess what? The Dolphins now have to go to Buffalo. Their father, Josh Allen, has a big custom-made leather belt waiting to put it to the Miami Dolphins' ass in prime time. So the Dolphins are 0-2 right now, playing their father. So they'll probably fall to 0-3. And where do we go from here? My final thoughts. Miami handed this one away with poor discipline, penalties at critical moments, inconsistent quarterback play, zero pass rush, and a defense that couldn't get off the field. And in the first half, the Patriots had the ball for like 21 minutes. Special team gave them a shot, but miscues and coaching decisions, errands, erased any chance for the finish. New England 33, Miami 27, a collapse that could put Mike McDaniel's tenure in serious jeopardy. I don't see how he survives much longer. And I don't 100% put this loss on him. I just don't see how he custom made. Yeah, thinking black. Josh Allen has a custom made cowhide leather belt to put to the Dolphins' ass come Thursday. To put to the Dolphins' ass. I can't wait to see what the line for that game is. I can't wait. I can't, because even though the Dolphins showed glimpses of being a competent football team, he got a broken nose, so that means he's going to be even more pissed. Even though the Dolphins showed glimpses of their offense being competent today, their defense can't stop anybody. And Josh Allen is probably bigger than anybody on their team, so they won't be able to tackle him. So it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. This is going to be bad. Unfortunately, there won't be any show after that game because the game is an 8:00 game. It's going to be over entirely too late, and I have to get up early in the morning. So I won't do a post show after that. Depending on how the week goes, I may do like a recap, but that's where we are with that, man. So let me get to the stats. Oh boy. So Tua, let me see. Let me refresh this because I think he had more than this. He ended up. So Tua's stat line, he was 26 of 32, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns. But again, another bonehead costly interception, which he should have had 2 interceptions, but they called the one back. A-Chain was 11 carries, 30 yards, 2.7 average. Not good enough. Not good enough. They had Malik Washington running the ball out of the backfield when you got 6'2", 250-pound Ollie Gordon, who only had 1 carry for 8 yards. I don't get it. I do not understand why we aren't running the football with the only running back on the team that's built like a running back. When I saw Malik Washington in the backfield, Malik Washington might be the size of my daughter. The Dolphins were in the huddle, and I'm just looking like, my God, nobody on here has any size on the offense. The offense is just a bunch of little guys, just a bunch of 5-foot guys. The quarterback's small. Your 2 receivers are small. Your running backs are small. Everybody's small. This team needs some size. You cannot compete against your Buffaloes and your Baltimores and your Pittsburghs playing with this size team. These guys are going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt. Oh, my goodness. Tyreek Hill, 6 catches, 109 yards. A-Chain, 8 catches, 92 yards. A-Chain is great in the pass game. 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 5 for 68, 1 touchdown. I mean, you had a little one-offs here and there. Again, but the defense just not good enough. Just not good enough. They just failed. They failed in every aspect. Total yards, the Patriots had 333, Miami 358. So Miami outgained them in yardage. 211 passing for the New England, 297 for the Dolphins, 122 rushing yards for New England, 61 rushing yards for the Dolphins. 61. But you got a 6'2", 250-pound running back that you won't run. That'll stiff arm the hell out of defenders, but you won't run him. You'd rather run the little guys. That's why I say there's nothing Mike McDaniel could do to save his job. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The reason the Dolphins were so good 2 years ago is because they could run the football. They could run the ball between the tackles. They can't run the ball between the tackles now. But you have a running back that's built to run the ball between the tackles. You give him one carry. One carry for 8 yards. And then you throw him a pass that Tua tried to get him killed on. It doesn't work. This team is no good. This team is not built good. This team is no good. Penalties, 10 penalties, 65 yards. Time of possession kind of balanced itself out because at first it was so lopsided. New England had 33 minutes, 45 seconds. The Dolphins 26 minutes, 15 seconds. Just not good enough. Miami was sacked 5 times. Tua was sacked 5 times. The Dolphins defense got 3 sacks. No takeaways. Again, here's another game, no takeaways. Like, what is the defense doing? The defense can't create turnovers. The defense can't do anything. The Dolphins defense is dreadful. Put that. You want some bulletin board material? Here I am. I'm saying it. The Miami Dolphins defense is dreadful. Dreadful. Terrible. What did Mike Singletary say? I can't win with them. I can't win with them. They're just terrible. They're awful. They're awful. All right, let's get into it. Let me put the link in the chat. Oh, hold on, I want to see something. Oh, so the Cowboys did pull it out because you know those Cowboy fans don't show up when they lose. Look like they had to go down to the wire against the Giants. So let's go over to this. Let me put this link in the chat. We got a couple of minutes. I don't want to go past an hour. So if anyone wants to come up, the link is in the chat. And while I'm doing that, let me go over the scores for today's games, and then we can get out of here. Let's see. All right. So this week, so week 2 started off with the Packers beating the Commanders. Man, the Packers look for real. The Cowboys won in overtime over the Giants, 40-37. The Seahawks obliterate the Steelers, 31-17. Wonder why Zay can't show up. One thing about these guys. So these guys criticize me. These guys always talk crap about the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a terrible football team. But when their team loses, nowhere to be found. They know they're beyond the scoreboard is coming up. Nowhere to be found. You can't find them. Nowhere. They turn into ghosts. You would think that they were the star power of how ghosts they get. They never show up. The Rams 33-19 winners over the Titans. The Rams look like a contender this year. Buffalo beats the hell out of the Jets 30-10. The Patriots over the Miami Dolphins 33-27. The Bengals and the Jaguars came down to a late touchdown. I saw a tush push. Joe Burrow did go out with an injury, so hopefully he's okay. Nothing too serious. 31-27 winners over the Jags. Oh, man, the 49ers, even without Brock Purdy, find a way to beat the Saints 26-21. So I feel like the Saints and the Dolphins are probably going to be in the running for the worst team of the year, the worst team this year. The Browns get throttled 41-17. You could throw the Browns in there. 41-17 throttling to the Ravens. The Lions. Well, you talk about 52-21 shellacking of the Bears. And right now in the late games, the Broncos are up 14-13 over the Colts. See? The Colts might be for real. The Colts put points up on the board. The Panthers are losing 10-3 against the Cardinals. The Chiefs are down. The Eagles are up 7-3 over the Chiefs. And then tonight you have the Falcons versus the Vikings. That should be a good one. Even though, listen, you got to pump your brakes on J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy looked like trash for 3.5 quarters last week. So pump the brakes about, they found their quarterback and blah, blah, blah. Let them play. Let's see how the season plays out. I wholeheartedly expect the Falcons to take care of business tonight there. Then tomorrow night, you have a doubleheader. You have the Bucs versus the Texans. The Bucs should take care of business there. And then you have the Chargers and the Raiders tomorrow night at 10 p.m. The Chargers should take care of business there. And then Thursday night, you have the lowly Miami Dolphins going to Buffalo to get their ass kicked by their father, Josh Allen. That's where we are right there, man. So, hey, man, I did drop the link. I see nobody's coming up. That's fine because I'm about to close out. Trevor, you just jinxed it. Nah, MD, y'all got a good team, man. Even though, what's up with Kyle Pitts, man? Kyle Pitts, I wanted Kyle Pitts. He's not really showing too much. But I love him because of his size. The Dolphins don't have any size. You watch the Dolphins play, it's just a bunch of little guys. Just a bunch of little guys. Your best wide receiver is under 6 foot. And he has to jump for everything because your quarterback under or overthrows him all the time. So he has to jump for everything, leaves himself exposed, and they're going for him. They're gunning for him every time. Every time. You know, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, Dolphin fans. I do not know what we're going to do, but I will tell you. Your boy Trevor will be here. Shout the Lord aloud. You know, you always got to throw in that caveat because nobody knows. But if the Lord allows, size doesn't mean anything when you're soft. Pitts is soft. Okay. So you're saying Pitts is soft. Okay. If the Lord allows, I will be here. I will be here with you every week, with the exception of the night games, because I got to get up 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't stay up, watch the games, and do a show afterwards. Can't do that. So that's where we are. So we'll be back. The next time you'll see me will be for week 4. Let me see. I think we got the Jets. Let me see. That will be. Let me get that schedule up. So yeah, we'll be back. We have the Jets September 29th. Oh, that's going to be the rivalry game. That'll be when that's a Monday Night Football game. Okay. September 29th. Let's see. All right. What day is that? Okay, so that is the Monday night game. Yeah, so we'll be back. So we got 2. Wow. Okay, I may have to try to do something in between because you have the Buffalo game, which is going to be, that's a Thursday night game, so there'll be no show. So I may kind of do like a recap of it during the week. And then you have the Jets game, which is a Monday night game. So there won't be a show after that because that'll be another late game. Wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely got to do some recaps because that'll be the color rush, the rivalry game where the Dolphins will be wearing their new black uniforms, which I've been calling for the Dolphins to get some black uniforms for the longest because they need something, maybe some new uniforms or something to give them a shot in the ass. Something. I don't know, man. So I did want to end off the show. I did see earlier that Ricky Hatton died at the age of 46. Boxer Ricky Hatton. Those of you familiar with boxing would know him. I did see that he died. I saw it earlier on Twitter. And speaking of boxing, man, shout out to Bud Crawford just destroying Canelo last night. You know, I'm watching that fight and it bothered me so much that I thought Max Kellerman did a terrible job because for the entirety of the fight, he just kept talking about Canelo. Canelo this. Oh, if Canelo does this, and I'm like, listen, bro, Crawford is fighting here. Talk about him too. Everything. And you could see Crawford was clearly ahead on everybody's scorecard. It's just everything. Canelo this, Canelo this, Canelo. But Crawford did get the unanimous decision victory, man. So shout out to him. Just a humble brother, man. Just took care of business. So shout out to that brother. Thanks, man, to you guys that came through. 105 of you are watching live right now. Hey, I don't know why y'all listen to me, man, but I do appreciate it. Shout out to the Twitter audience. Hey, Twitter audience, y'all got to start responding, man. You're watching in droves, but you won't say anything. If you type in the chat, I can see you. If you type something, let me know. Let me know if you think I'm overreacting when I say how terrible the Dolphins are. They are, though, but it's all good. I still want to hear from you. You could type in the chat. And like I said, it won't be next week. It'll the next afternoon game, I'll start streaming on TikTok. So that'll be 2 weeks from now. I'll start streaming on TikTok as well, because I posted a video about 2 on TikTok and there's 81,000 views on it. So I got to get over there. But hey, man, thanks to you guys for coming through, man. Hopefully your team won today. You don't have to share in the misery of being a Dolphin fan. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of football, man. There has been some great games. I'm going to be honest. Oh, well, okay. MD want to talk about TKO. Hey, don't get me started with TKO. I'm going to be honest, Trev. TKO is horrible as far as caring about the customer. TKO made a bad business deal in acquiring the WWE and probably the UFC. And now they're going to make their fans pay for it. So these ticket prices are ridiculous. And I just wanted to do a solid. I looked up what the average ticket was for last night's mega fight, and the ticket prices were affordable. And then you look up what WrestleMania tickets are going for. I saw some WrestleMania tickets for $20,000. Like this is absolutely ridiculous. And the Saudis are going to give them $250 million to bring WrestleMania 27 over there, plus whatever other concessions they're going to give them. And they're just going to fleece the fans. They're going to continue to fleece the fans. That's why I always tell everybody, make your home enjoyment like the Dolphins. The Dolphins aren't getting any more money from me. The Dolphins aren't getting any more money from me until I'm going to always buy merchandise. That's what I do. I'm a Dolphin fan. I'm still going to buy Dolphin merchandise. If you look on the back of my truck, yeah, they were involved in the fight last night. Also, if you look on the back of my truck, you see this gigantic Dolphin and Seminole, signs on the back or whatever. I'm going to always be Dolphin fans. So I'm going to buy the merchandise. But as far as going to the game, supporting the product that way, I'm not going to do it because we spend too much money. The last game me and my wife went to last season, we were in the club. We were in the club level. And we got the whole VIP treatment, the tickets, the parking, and I still ended up spending like $200 from concessions and beer and all that other stuff. I'm not going to keep giving the Dolphins money and they keep putting a piss poor product on the field like this. That's why I make the home viewing so great. I have a gigantic television. I could watch the games in 4 different screens, recliners, leather recliners. I have everything to my touch, all the food, whatever I want, drinks. I can't drink liquor anymore, but stuff like that. I have it all at my fingertips. I'm not going to give the Dolphins my money. I'm not. As far as ticket revenue and parking. You go to the Dolphin game, you got to pay $50 to park 2 miles from the stadium. It's insane. And we do it because we're loyal fans. And they get our money and they constantly put shit on the field. Constantly. Not going to keep doing it. Not at all. I watch on TV. Sorry. Do better. If you want my money, do better. That is how you impact stuff. Because when you constantly give them your money, then they're going to be like, you know what? They still love it. I could give them anything. They're going to love it. But when you answer with your checkbook, then they're gonna be like, boy, you know, can't do it anymore. So that's where we are, man. I did hit my hour mark. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Make sure and follow me on TikTok also, at Straight Talk with Trevor. I'll be dropping a lot of shorts as well as my YouTube shorts that I drop on a regular basis, especially now the football season. I'm going to get a couple of them ready for you right now to be dropped within the hour. So, hey man, enjoy the rest of your football Sunday. Go Florida State, man. We moved up to number 7. I'm not a fan of that. I don't really think we should move up to number 7 as yet. I would wait. I want to really see where Florida State is after the Miami game. After October 4th, then I'll really see where we are in the pecking order. But I think Florida State is a good football team, and they are in the right direction. So that's all, man. Peace to you guys. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Miami Dolphins, you got to do better. But don't fear, Dolphin fans. We're in the hands of this man.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy, yummy.